What is up, YouTube? It's your boy LA Realization, come back at you with another video. No, I haven't changed that intro, and no, I don't want to change it too. So, what's been going on lately? Well, for me, pretty good. I got hired 3 times the past month to shoot, second shoot a wedding and do some real estate photography shoots. Real estate photography shoots, that's the word I want to use? I got to do some real estate headshots. That's what I got to do. So, first we're going to talk about second shooting a wedding. I've been trying to second shoot a wedding for a really long time, and I understand that why people don't want to hire me because I'm not a wedding photographer. But my thing is, how do I become a wedding photographer if I don't get to shoot weddings? So, you know, it's like the chicken and egg thing. So, let's go with that. So, I went to the wedding with my Nikon Z8, the Nikon Z6II, which is filming me right now, the 85mm 1.2, 85mm 1.8, and 35mm 1.8, both from Viltrox, and my Choreo camera strap. We'll talk about all of them individually. First thing I want to talk about, I've ranted about this before, is this ENL15 battery from Nikon. So this battery on the Nikon Z6 and Z6II is fine. It's good. And this beast of a camera, not so much. So, I get to the groom, that's my dog. I get to the groom and about noon. So I shoot the groom, he's getting ready, the flat lay, everything like that. And around 1:45-ish, the first battery was done in a Z8. And I was like, I only got 5 batteries. I only brought 5 batteries because yeah. So the Nikon Z6II, the battery was fine. So fast forward to the end of the wedding from 12 to 6, which is pretty short for a wedding, but I was there from 12 to 6. And by the time I left, every single one of my batteries had died. And it was an outdoor wedding too, so I didn't have a place to basically plug in any of my stuff at. So, yeah, that was my only. It's always my only caveat with this camera is that they didn't change the battery life. So now let's go on to the lenses. The main photographer, Jawan, I gotta thank him so much for letting me second shoot the wedding. He had the 70-200. He also shoots Nikon. He had the 70-200 and the 24-70, I believe. So that's why I brought the 85 and the 35. So my issue I was running into was that this 85mm is my favorite focal length, and I think I needed something a little wider, and that's why I went with the 35. What I was running into, maybe it's just me, I wasn't getting the same quality from both lenses. What I mean by that is like this lens just looked buttery smooth compared to this one. So I don't know if I'm going to run out the 35mm from Nikon to see how that looks. But here's my dilemma if I do that. Because one of my other videos talked about it too. I don't like to mix my Viltrox lenses and my Nikon lenses when I'm shooting something together because they are drastically different. Like I believe the Viltrox lenses are more contrasty or more saturated than the Nikon lenses are. So if I do the 35mm and I end up liking that look, I'm going to have to sell both of these and then, you know, get the Nikon version. Or I'm going to start shooting on the 35 a little bit more to see what I'm doing wrong. Because I just wasn't getting that pop like I was getting from the 85mm. So, what did I learn in my first wedding shoot as a second photographer? That I overshot. I overshot by a lot. And what I mean by a lot, I mean, I don't want to call those photos because it's a lot and I have to. A lot. So what I was doing, I was shooting on burst mode because that was, for lack of a better word, or the right word, I was scared I was going to miss the actual moments. So I was doing burst, and throughout the whole day, that becomes a lot. I have to teach myself not to overshoot. The other thing I have to teach myself too is that, because when I do usually I do portraiture work or landscape, and I control everything, but when you're doing wedding photography, of course you don't control everything, and everything's right in the moment. So there are a couple of shots that I lost, I think I did, but when I go back to edit, or when Jawan goes to edit, we'll see if we can recover those. The other thing too was that I usually don't use on-camera flash, and my on-camera flash for some reason was not working. I usually use off-camera flash. It wasn't, for some reason it just wasn't working. And then I wasn't getting the right pop, and so a lot of my white balance was off. Good thing I shot in RAW. So the other thing too was like the first photographer told me to dumbed down the megapixels from 45 to like 25. So that's what I did for him too, because he said he doesn't shoot with all the megapixels. He said the only time he does that's with product shots. Since I do landscape a lot of times, I always shoot the whole thing. So I have to dig deep in the menus to find that because I never change it. So that was fine. The other thing too was the camera strap. I don't know why I've never ever had one of these before, but it was very, very nice to have two cameras at once, because usually I wouldn't have something like this. I would have like the Peak Design straps and the cameras just be bumping into each other. So that, yeah. So having it this way was a lot better. So, you know, I really like this. So the Corio, because I was going to either get this, or I did get this, but it was between the Moneymaker and this. And the Moneymaker was $250. And this was $90. So the financial part of me said the $90 is going to work a lot better than the $250. So we're going to be using this for a while. The other reason why I went with that too is because some of you know that even though I bought this camera, I don't know why I did air quotes, it hasn't paid for itself just yet. But with the 2 shoots I've done with the real estate agent and with the wedding, I'm hoping to get more work from that way, and hopefully by the end of the year, it'll pay for itself. That's what I'm hoping. But other than that, what else is going on? Not much. Just I really enjoyed using a Nikon Z6. I really enjoyed using Nikon Z8 on the wedding. Now here's my other dilemma. Even though I'm just talking about money, having 2 different camera setups, the muscle memory was struggling for a little bit. Also, the autofocus I was struggling. So I don't know if some of you guys run into the same problem. Let me know in the comments. My Z6 or my Z6II, the square box would just be going all over the place, and that really, really, really irritates me. And I don't have to worry about that with this one at all. So, but no, your boy's not buying another Z8 because that not gonna happen. So, we'll see what happens after that. Other than that, there's not much. I'm gonna go back to culling some wedding photos, and hopefully I'll talk to Jawan and see if I can use some of them right now, and I'll just put some of the photos that I took here. The other thing about the experience by being a second shooter is that some people get confused about what camera should they look at, and I kept telling them, don't worry about me, look at Jawan, he is the main photographer. So that was that. So I also try to make sure I stayed out of his way once I left the groom. I won't shoot with him. I just try to make sure I stayed out the way from some of the YouTube videos that I watch, and you know, so I made sure to do that. But other than that, the wedding was pretty good. I felt good about it. I felt good about the pictures I took of the groomsmen, not so much at the reception. And there's the dog again. Not so much at the reception because of the flash, but I'll work on that. But other than that, ain't that much else going on. So see you in the next one.